On today's whiskey review, that's right, it's time for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C921. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Tears. My name is Justin. In today's episode, we are doing Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C921. So the last release from 2021. Yes, I know we are already into the A release of 2022, but I have this one and none of the others. So this is the one I am going to be reviewing today. If you guys have not joined me here on Whiskey Tears before, we rank everything on your standard tier system. You can see all the ones we've done in the past. Last week we did the Barrel Bourbon Batch 32 and it was outstanding. Almost got that very top S tier, but it's the highest rated bourbon I have done to date. So I'm excited to try the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C921. I've seen some reviews on this one. They've kind of been a bit all over the place. So we're going to get into it today, see what this one is looking like. The bottle, I love how the Elijah Craig bottles work. It's got the nice big wood topper on there. It's got your info on the front. The C921 is coming in at 120 proof. It's 12 years old. It's non-chilled filtered, and it's straight bourbon whiskey. So we're going to try Elijah Craig Barrel Proof today. It comes in, depending on where you are, anywhere between 60 and 90. I think I got this bottle for 80. So I have not had this one before. We're going to see how it goes. Let's try it now. Here we go with the bottle pop. Glorious. Now let's see what kind of nice pour. This is a very different top to the bottle. I don't think I've ever even poured one out of something like that. We'll see if it affects the pour at all. No, it actually makes the pour pretty easy. And that is a nice healthy pour right there of the ECBP. Alright, so color, pretty standard bourbon color there, that amberish, maybe even a little bit extra red in there on the color on this one. We got it in the Whiskey Tears Glencairn glass. And by the way, if you guys want to vote on what bottles we are going to be doing coming up here on the channel, a bunch of these bottles I have not gotten into yet. I picked up a bunch of new ones recently, like the Calumet Farms 15 year. We still got to do the Stellum. I'm really interested in trying the Chattanooga 111. So if you guys want to join the Patreon and vote on which bottles we have going next into the review system, check out the link in the description below. Alright, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C921. What's it smell like? Vanilla cherry wood. It's kind of like if you took a plank of wood and you dipped it into melted cherry vanilla ice cream. That's, oh my god, I'm wasting whiskey right now. Jesus Christ. Got a little aggressive on the twirl there. I'm sorry. That's a sin right there, but yes. If you took some wood and you dipped it into some melted cherry vanilla ice cream, maybe just a little bit of seagrass in there as well. A little bit of spice on the end of the nose there as well, here on the ECBP C921. Yeah, but that's what the dominant flavor I'm getting over and over again is that wood dipped into a melted cherry vanilla ice cream. So, you know, with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and dive in and taste it. Of course, it's got very nice legs, very oily looking in the glass. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that's to be expected of a nice 120 proof Elijah Craig, 12 years old. This will be, I think, the second oldest bourbon I own behind the Calumet. So, very interested in that as well. Marshmallow as well there on the nose. A little bit of marshmallow I got that time. Alright, let's get into the taste. A lot of wood. A lot of wood. Rosewood. Rose and wood. Rose and wood with the lingering of the wood. That sip was a little bit better. Got a little bit more sweetness that time, but very woody, very rosy, florally. but it's very specific to rose, I think. I'm not, for some reason, when I get that on the palate, I just get that wood and I taste it and I instantly think rose every single time. I got a little bit more sweetness on that sip. Let's see if we get any more this time. Some tobacco there on the end of that one, but rose and wood. I gotta say, it doesn't linger too long. It doesn't really coat the tongue or the mouth, like especially like the barrel bourbon that I just did recently did. And the finish is just kind of a tobacco-y wood, maybe just a hint of pepper in there, but it doesn't last too long. I mean, the taste lingers a little bit. It's almost like a smoky wood that lingers around in your mouth a little bit, but it doesn't have that nice long finish to it. It's actually kind of a shorter finish than I would have thought. Okay, that time the sweetness up front, I think it was just a hint of strawberry up front before everything. If you get it right on the tip of the tongue, I think there's a hint of strawberry before you get into the wood, before you get into the rose, and then into the tobacco-y, peppery, kind of smoky wood finish here. It doesn't have a real long, doesn't hold on going down the throat. It doesn't coat the mouth really much at all. So I don't know, not quite what I was expecting here out of an Elijah Craig barrel proof C921. But I guess that is why this one has had such up and down reviews so far. So before we rank it on the tier system, we do try everything three ways here on Whiskey Tiers. We try it neat, we try it with a dash of water, and we try it on the rocks. So let's add a dash of water, see if that opens it up at all. Alright, let's smell it with the water added. Alright, so you get more sweetness on the nose with the water added. Kind of that same profile of the melted cherry vanilla ice cream on wood, but it's more of the ice cream instead of the wood, whereas when it was neat, it was more of the wood. Okay, you get more cherry when you add that little bit of water. Actually, much better with that little dash of water added than when it was neat, which is normally not the case, at least for me, but it still finishes with that tobacco-y, peppery, smoked wood finish. But let's try that again, just to make sure. You got cherry a bunch up front there, whereas before I was getting just a little bit of sweetness on the front, but got more of it with that water added. Yep, so you definitely get more sweetness out of it when you add that dash of water. So I think it's a little bit better with the dash of water added, but let's put it over some ice and see what happens there. Okay, so that actually brought out more of the woodiness up front. A lot of wood there when it's just on the rocks. Pretty much all wood. Almost got rid of, still gets into that tobacco-y, little bit of a peppery finish on the end, but it was pretty much all wood there at the front. Yep, wood, rose, and then as it starts to fade, it gets into that tobacco-y, peppery finish, but then it fades off pretty quickly and it kind of leaves you with, it almost feels like I just took a puff of a cigar, and that's kind of what it's leaving in my mouth. So maybe this would be good if you were smoking like a really sweet cigar and you wanted something to supplement it. But overall, I gotta be honest, it's not my favorite bottle. C921, if you like the sweet, really caramely, cherry noted, vanilla-y bourbons, then the Elijah Craig C921 is not going to be for you. This one is very wood heavy, very rose heavy, and then getting into the tobacco-y, smoky on the end there. So I don't know, it's a tough one. I'm kind of back and forth between, it's definitely not S or A. Is it a B or a C is the question. Honestly, I think I'm going to put it down and rank it as a C tier here, which I'm very surprised about. I was expecting this to be up in the A, at worst B tiers here on the ECBP C921, but it's just not my favorite flavor profile. It's rosewood into tobacco with pepper, and then leaving you with kind of a cigar aftertaste in your mouth. Like if you're just smoking a cigar, you puffed it out and you let it linger for a while, or if you woke up the next morning after smoking cigars the night before, that's kind of what it tastes like here in my mouth after I drank it and then just let it go. So yeah, I'm putting this down on the C tier, the average, the one that if it wasn't such an expensive bottle, generally for people and hard to find, it would be more of the daily sipper just to kind of drink and get it off your shelf and move on to something better. So not really too impressed here with the ECBP C921, but hey, they can't all be amazing like the Barrel Bourbon Batch 32. If you guys didn't see that review, go check that one out. That was my highest ranked bourbon to date here on the channel. Blows this one out of the water. Like if I took a sip of that one right now, this might even go lower. So we're not going to do that. We're going to rank it down there on the C tier and move on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me down in the comments below, have you had the C921? What did you guys think of it? What tasting notes did you get out of it? Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos, and I'll catch you later.